The chair may recess the committee subject to the call of the chair at any point during this meeting. Our next order of business is to consider a bill to reauthorize the United States Grain Standards Act. This essential law has shaped the U.S. grain and oilseed industry for more than a century. Originally enacted in 1916, the United States Grain Standards Act provides the federal government with the authority to establish official marketing standards for grains and oilseeds, along with procedures for inspection and weighing. These standards are a cornerstone of our agricultural system, supporting transparency, consistency, and fairness across the supply chain. They help ensure that U.S. grain maintains its strong reputation for quality and reliability in global markets. Producers, processors, exporters, and buyers all rely on the integrity and accuracy of the official grain inspection and weighing services. These services not only help farmers receive a premium for their crops, but also give buyers the certainty they're receiving the quality they've come to expect. While many of these provisions of the Act are permanently authorized, a few key authorities are set to expire this September. A lapse in authorization could create significant disruption in inspection and weighing processes, leading to uncertainty in both domestic and international markets. U.S. competitiveness in global markets depends on uninterrupted, consistent, and cost-effective inspection services. The updated provisions before us today reflect thoughtful input from stakeholders and aim to ensure continuity and create more opportunity to advance grain grading technology. This legislation reflects a strong bipartisan consensus. I want to thank Subcommittee Chairman Scott and Ranking Member Davis for holding a hearing on this important issue and helping educate members on the value of official marketing standards. I also appreciate the partnership of Ranking Member Craig of the full committee in working collaboratively to move this effort ahead. I look forward to continuing our work together to advance this important legislation through the House. And with that, I yield to the Ranking Member Craig for her comments.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I'm pleased to be here to support the U.S. Grain Standards Reauthorization Act of 2025 and happy to be its lead Democratic co-sponsor. Every summer, grains planted by hardworking Minnesotans cover 40% of my district. Agriculture, by its very nature, is full of uncertainty. When farmers plant their crops, they don't know if the weather will cooperate. Usually it doesn't in Minnesota. Will their fields get too much rain, too little sun, a cold snap, or an unexpected severe weather event? None of this is in the hands of the farmer planting a crop. Lately, America's farmers have experienced another kind of uncertainty: the president's trade policies. How much will tariffs drive up input costs? Will tariffs ultimately shut U.S. farmers out of foreign markets? Will any trade deal the administration makes be enough to offset the market share we lost in the first Trump trade war and are continuing to lose now? U.S. grain standards are a key component of foreign trade and promoting American agriculture exports. The inspections and certifications done by the Federal Grain Inspection Service, states, and private agencies provide foreign importers with certainty regarding the quality of the grain bought from U.S. farmers. With parts of the existing U.S. Grain Standards Act set to expire on September 30th, 2025, we should avoid adding additional uncertainty to farmers' lives by reauthorizing and improving this law. The bill before us reauthorizes annual appropriations for standard development and maintenance, USDA's authority to collect fees for supervision of inspections and weighing, an administrative supervisory cost cap, and the Grain Inspection Advisory Committee, all important components of the existing law. However, the bill also makes some key improvements. The legislation steers USDA to prioritize the modernization of grain grading technologies. The U.S. grain inspection system is known around the world for quality and reliability. Yet, as new technologies and new tests with improved speed, accuracy, and consistency come into play, other countries may try to leap ahead of our high standards. We cannot rest on our laurels. By focusing USDA's attention on modernization, we can continue to hold our place as the world's gold standard in grain inspection. We also heard testimony before the General Farm Commodities Risk Management and Credit Subcommittee that the FGIS Grain Inspection Advisory Committee should be modified to enhance continuity. This need arises from USDA's delays occurring under both Republican and Democratic administrations in naming replacement GIAC members when existing members leave. Today, a member of the GIAC may serve 2 consecutive terms, but then must leave the committee when the second term expires. This can leave holes in GIAC membership, which can prevent the committee from meeting. By allowing GIAC members in their second term to remain on the committee until replaced, this ensures the committee can continue to function. However, this should not absolve the department from doing a better job in vetting and naming GIAC members in a timely manner, and I trust, Mr. Chairman, that we will be keeping their feet to the fire on this. There are other improvements to the law that I won't go into, but the bill's entire intention is to help ensure grain can get from our farms and grain elevators onto ships bound for overseas markets. Our grain farmers need to know that they can rely on the USDA as a reliable partner, not a roadblock to trade. I'm pleased we were able to work on this legislation in a bipartisan way, and I hope this trend will continue throughout this Congress. Bipartisan legislation is always preferable to partisan legislation. Bipartisan legislation is stronger. Bipartisan legislation is harder to undo when it has broad support. Reauthorizing the U.S. Grain Standards Act is important for our farmers and their customers, and I urge all of my colleagues to support this legislation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.
The Grain Standards Reauthorization Act of 2025 is now before the committee for consideration without objection. A first reading of the bill will be waived and will be open for amendment at any point. Do any members have remarks on the bill under the 5-minute rule? Seeing none and hearing no further discussion, the committee will now consider the bill. Does any member have any amendments to the bill? Seeing none and hearing none, I now recognize the gentlelady from Minnesota, Ms. Craig, for a motion.
What's my motion? Mr. Chairman, I move. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I move, Mr. Chairman, I move that the bill, H.R. 4550, be reported favorably to the House with the recommendation that it do pass.
Does any member wish to discuss the motion? Hearing none, the question is on the motion offered by the gentlelady from Minnesota, Ms. Craig, to favorably report H.R. 4550. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed by saying nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the bill H.R. 4550 is ordered to be reported favorably to the House. The majority, having voted in favor of the motion, is agreed to, and H.R. 4050 will be reported favorably to the House. Without objection, the usual instructions are given to staff that consist of making such technical, clarifying, or conforming changes as are appropriate without changing the substance of the legislation. Any members wishing to submit additional dissenting or minority views shall submit such views to the Council's office, room 1407, Longworth, by Friday, July 25th at 12 p.m. This concludes today's business meeting. I want to thank all the members, and this meeting is adjourned. We will reconvene in approximately 1 minute for the hearing.